Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be opening up our first box from a sealed case. So here you guys can see it did come from a sealed case. We're going to be starting with the first box right now. Let's see what we open. Right, starting off with our first pack. If it wants to open. Starting off with a Mother Gothel, Violet Saberwing, Genie, Vladimir, Donald Duck, Gurgi, Katrina Van Tassel. I used her last night in a draft. She was very helpful. Bagheera, also great card. We got Whisper Merlin. We got Duckburg for our first rare. We got Enigmatic Inkcaster for our second one. And an Enchanted Next Stop Olympus. First pack of the day and we've already got an Enchanted. That is exciting. I'm going to go ahead and double sleeve him because, you know, Enchanteds. Well, let's see how the rest of the box does, I guess. That's kind of crazy. Let me keep that there in front view for you guys. On to our next pack. Starting off with Dragonfire, Junior Woodchuck Guidebook, Henwen's Vision, Finnick, Putting It All Together. We got Flash, Goliath, Ichabod Crane, Emily Quackfaster. Then for our first rare, we got Chief Bogo. We got a legendary Shere Khan and a foil Ka. That is very nice. See, that can go there. And let's sleeve up Shere Khan. First legendary. On to our third pack. We got Bronx, Violet Saberwing, Rapunzel, Baloo, Basil, Eilonwy, Katrina Van Tassel, Bagheera. We got Nana. For our first rare, we got the Sword of Hercules. Second rare, we got Diablo. And we got a foil Megara Whisper. That artwork is just beautiful. Next pack. Ooh. That one went a little bit haywire. Starting off, we got Hermes, Begone, Cricky, Flotsam, the Twins, Gurgi. We got Whisper Beast, Sudden Scare, Malicious, Mean, and Scary. Then we got Spooky Sight for our first rare. We got super rare Simba and a foil Fergus McDuck. On to our next pack. Starting off with Peter Pan, Mushu, Anna, Baloo, Inspector Tezuka. You know, I opened one yesterday in my draft and the wording for Bodyguard was faded. It was like a misprint almost. Della's Moon Lullaby, Webby's Diary, Nibs. We got Time to Go. We got Next Stop Olympus for our first rare. Then we got Daisy Duck, Sapphire Champion for our second rare, and a foil Elanwi. Also, during our draft yesterday, we opened a Nick Wilde. Just look at that card. It's absolutely gorgeous. For our next pack, we got Rama, Fragile as a Flower, Fergus McDuck, Flotsam, the Twins, Munchings and Crunchings. Great card. That is a fabulous card. Tap to remove up to 2 damage from chosen character. Love it. Aries, Sudden Scare, Blessed Bagpipes. For our first rare, we got Mare Wind Dancer. We got a legendary Goliath. That is gorgeous. And a foil Bronx. That is very nice. On to our next pack. Starting off with Rama, Fragile as a Flower, Fergus McDuck, Ka, the Headless Horseman, Raja, Lexington. We got Judy Hopps, Inscrutable Map. For our first rare, we got Ariel. Then we got a legendary Daisy Duck and a foil Zootopia. So far we've already got 1 enchanted and 3 legendaries, and we're still not at the halfway point of the box. Let's see if the second half manages to compare. Starting off, we got Raksha, the Horned King, Detective's Badge, Webby Vanderquack, Basil, Goofy, Broadway. We got Whisper Jasmine. She is an amazing card. Her ability to quest, and if there's a card under her, remove up to 3 damage from each of your characters. That is just absolutely amazing. And we got Flintheart Glomgold. For our first rare, we got Grimorum Arcanorum. Then we got Judy Hopps for our super rare, and a foil Swooping Strike. We're starting off with Hermes, Junior Woodchuck Guidebook, Detective's Badge, So Be It, Nick Wilde, Mrs. Beakley, Lexington, Ink Runner. We got Ka. Our first rare is Get to Safety. Then we got the Headless Horseman for our super rare. And we got a foil Anna. Starting off, we got Tinkerbell, Elsa, Li Shang, Finnick, Hudson, Della's Moon Lullaby. We got Whisper Gaston. He hurled his Thunderbolt. Ichabod Crane. We got Ink Amplifier as our first rare. We got Minnie Mouse Amethyst Champion as our second rare. And our foil is Iniago. He is also a great card. His Challenger 5 is super helpful. Got Bronx, Swooping Strike, Mickey Mouse, Aquila, Hudson, Higgins, Webby Vanderquack, David Sanatos. We got Scuttle. Isn't he just the cutest? For our first rare, we've got Gazelle. For our second rare, we got Robin Hood. And for our third, we got Get to Safety foil. Very nice. For our next pack, we got Brom Bones, Demona. I was using her a lot yesterday during the draft. We got Daisy Duck, So Be It, Nick Wilde, Della Duck, Recovered Page, The Game's Afoot, Chef Louie. We got Ursula, Whisper of Vanessa for our first rare. We got Penumbra for our second one. And then we got a foil Raja. For our next pack, we got Mother Gothel, Cauldron Born, Henwen, Jetsam, Donald Duck, Headless Manhorse, which I will tell you, I did not realize that he was a 5'10". That is a pain in the butt. We got Performance Review, Mushu's Rocket. We got Flynn Rider. We got Ingenious Device for our first rare. We got the Horn King for our super rare. And a foil Goofy Emerald Champion. On to our next pack. We got Tinkerbell, Demona, Cricky, Chomp, But I'm Much Faster, Della Duck, Gwythaint. We got Sleepy Hollow, Malicious, Mean, and Scary. And for our first rare, we got White Agony Plains. We got Scrooge McDuck, Shush Agent as our super rare. And a foiled Time to Go. We got Raksha starting us off. We got the Horn King, Mickey Mouse, Big Nose, Putting It All Together, Shanti, love her by the way, Nana, Mushu's Rocket, we got Recovered Page, and then we got Goofy Emerald Champion for our first rare. Then we got Fairy Godmother's Wand for our super rare. And a foil Daisy Duck, Sapphire Champion. We're starting off with Shere Khan, Magica de Spell, Genie, Launchpad, Clawhauser, Munchings and Crunchings, or Rewrite History. We got Iago and Tinkerbell. Then we got Elisa Maza. She is very difficult to kill. Well, just like playing in the draft like I did yesterday, she was a very annoying character to play against. Then we got the Sultan for our next rare and a foil Cricky. Next up, we are starting off with Ghostly Tale, Be Gone, Rapunzel, Jetsam, Clawhauser, Elanwi, Search for Clues, Duckworth. We got Whisper Beast, and then we got the rare Shere Khan for our first rare. For our second rare, we got Castle of the Horned King, and then we got an epic Minnie Mouse. That is gorgeous. I'm gonna go ahead and sleeve her up. And for our next pack, here we've got Peter Pan, Lena Saberwing, Henwen's Visions, Aquila, Francine, Flash, Olaf, Mulan. I also opened an epic of her yesterday during the draft. We got Hook Hand. The Horseman Strikes is our first rare. Then we got Pluto, Steel Champion for our second rare. And a foil Della Duck. I've got Dragonfire, Mushu, loved him by the way, Anna, Chomp, But I'm Much Faster, Goofy, we got Zeus, Might Solve a Mystery, Whisper Flynn Rider, then we got Donald Duck, Ruby Champion for our first rare, and then we got a legendary Hades and a foil So Be It. On to our next pack. Ooh. Here we go. Starting off with Shere Khan, Cauldron Born, Daisy Duck, Launchpad, Minnie Mouse, Headless Man Horse, Black Heron, Pluto, Bellwether. Then for our first rare, we got Can't Hold It Back Anymore. For our super rare, we got Hans and a foil Basil. Starting off with Ghostly Tale, Lena Saberwing, Li Shang, Vladimir, Minnie Mouse, Shanti, The Robot Queen, Might Solve a Mystery, Hook Hand. Then for our first rare, we got Scrooge McDuck. We got Fairy Godmother Whisper as our super rare. And we got a foil Brom Bones. Now we're on to the last 3 packs of the box. First one. We're starting off with Brooklyn, Elsa, Promising Lead, Big Nose, Francine, Mrs. Beakley, Taryn, The Great Illuminary, Whisper Zeus. We got Trust in Me as our first rare. We got Coldstone as our second rare. And a foil Fairy Godmother's Wand, super rare. Our second pack. We got Brom Bones, Magica the Spell, Henwen, Ka, Headless Horseman, Raja. We got Scrooge McDuck, Performance Review, and Zootopia. For our first super rare, we got Mowgli. Then we got the Cheshire Cat and a foil Baloo. On to our last pack of the box. We are starting off with Bronx, Swooping Strike, Promising Lead, Baloo, Basil, Higgins, Terran, Gwythaint, the Robot Queen. We got Goldie O'Gilt for our first rare of this pack. We got Ichabod Crane for our second rare. And a foil legendary Webby Vanderquack. So out of this box, we made out with 5 legendaries, 1 being a foil, 1 epic, and 1 enchanted. Thank you guys for watching. We hope you enjoyed, and we're going to have more videos coming out. If you want to like and subscribe, wouldn't hurt. We hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye.